there, and welcome back to the Happy Hooker's Closet. My name is Nina. We have a lot to talk about today. This conversation is about the past markets that I had this weekend. We're now into Monday, so I kind of got everything settled in. I relaxed yesterday. Saturday was a long day for me. I had 2 markets, if you remember. It wasn't a good weekend. I'm not going to say it wasn't a good weekend at all. I did get to network, which is 50% of your job if you do have a crochet craft business. 50% of your job is to network and market with fellow vendors and people putting on events. They could be putting on more events. Do I want to do these events again? I'm not 100% sure yet. It was a weird weekend. And I'll start off with this. There was a lot going on. There were 2 major events going on in our town. And if you remember from other conversations or videos I've had, I live in a smaller town. I live in Yuma, Arizona. And so when there's one big thing going on, everybody migrates to that one big thing. Well, the one big thing this weekend was the Yuma Tacos and Tunes. It's a taco festival. So that was going on all day on Saturday. And then there was a YumaCon, which is like a smaller version of Comic-Con, but in Yuma. And that was going on the same day as well. So the stacks were, I didn't think that I would not sell as much though. So the first market I did was the craft fair at the church. I'm sure you guys have seen videos about that if you follow me. I did a craft show at a church, and I think my name threw people off, and I think maybe they didn't want to buy from me because my name is the Happy Hooker's Closet and they are church people. I did have, how many purchases did I think I had 2 purchases, maybe just one. I had 3 purchases at this craft fair, okay? And also, let me just tell you, the Pokeballs that I sold, I dropped the price to $5, and I typically sell them for $10. But bro, I was desperate. I needed to make a sale, and I wanted that to draw more people in. So I sold those Pokeballs for $5. So the first thing I sold was my purple snake. And he was a big snake. He was a big snake. He wrapped around your neck. I have to make another one. And I sold him for $35. A fellow crochet artist bought that snake for me. And she makes very different stuff than I do. Also at that craft fair, there was a lot of people who crocheted. And it wasn't old people, it was like younger people too. Which, kudos, I love, the more the merrier in the crochet community. But here's the other reason why I dropped my price for those Pokeballs when somebody asked about them. All these other crochet people were selling their stuff for next to nothing. Except for 2. And the 2 other crochet people that were selling their stuff for the right price are fellow crochet artists that sell within the community with me. I see them at markets a lot. So, but the other ones were selling, a lot of their stuff for $5, $10 at the max. They weren't, it wasn't priced right. So I had to drop my prices, which, hey, I'm not coming at you because you wanted to sell your stuff for the price that you wanted to, but there was like 4 or 5 other people who were selling crochet along with other stuff that they were selling. They had like a little corner of crochet and they were just selling that stuff for $5, which in turn I had to drop my prices a little bit too in order to make a freaking sale. Because even with me dropping my prices in the video before this, that still wasn't enough for this market. So I sold the snake for $35, which that was the price I had it at. The fellow crochet artist that I see around town selling too, she's the one that bought it. I sold 2 Pokeballs for $5 each, and it was to the same person. I had a lot. I had a lot of people come up to me and be like, oh my God, your work is so beautiful. So much talent. Like, how long does it take you to do this? Da, da, da. And I was like, a long time. Buy something from me and make my time worth it. You know? But that's all I really got. And I think it's because a lot of those people probably do crochet. So, whatever. I got to network. I met a couple of new vendors. They were asking me for advice. And of course, I want to be as helpful as I can. I've been doing this for a couple of years. I feel like I've gotten nowhere though. But we're going to try and change that this year. The other market... that one was a craft fair. This one is a night market that happens every week, every Saturday. And it's called Palms After Dark. That market is done right in the midst of probably the most popular part of the taco festival at night. So it's from 7 to 11. It's at the mall. The mall is a hot spot to be, right? Okay. Nobody went to this market. There was a coffee trailer and a Filipino food trailer and one other, two clothing vendors. One showed up later though. So when we went up there, I brought my goddaughter with me because she wanted to sell some of her stuff to help fundraise for her dance comp. And I was like, is this all that's showing up to the person who puts it on? And she was like, yeah, well, the taco festival. And I was like, oh. At that time, I did not know the taco festival was going on. I don't remember. But I was like, oh. She was like, most of our vendors are over there selling. And I was like, right. Okay. So she was like, we're expecting 4 other vendors and only 1 other showed up at me. On top of the 3 vendors that were already there. So I was like, and then I was like, it's $50 to get in, right? She was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, am I going to risk the $50 and just do this market? That's one bad thing about doing these markets is you pay a certain amount. Sometimes you're not going to make your booth fee back. Sometimes you will. Sometimes you do really well. What am I going to do? So I asked my goddaughter, I was like, do you want to do it? Well, as I was asking my goddaughter, the girl comes back and was like, so-and-so said that they'll let you set up for $25 just because of the circumstances. And I was like, okay. And then we were like, all right, let's do it. So then when we were setting up, she was like, you know what? We're not going to charge you guys anything today because it's, whatever you make is going to be total profit for you guys. And I was like, cool. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. So we set up and we sat out there from 7 to 8:30. We left early because there was a ton of traffic going through the mall, but they weren't stopping anywhere. I think they were going downtown. So everything we made was pure profit, and I made $25. I sold my jack-o'-lantern doll for $25. He was just a little measly thing. I whipped him up real quick. I didn't think anybody was gonna buy him because he was a little hunky, but somebody bought him. The girl was like, he's just too cute. So now I'm going to make another one and see how that goes because I have another Halloween event at the end of the month. So, my goddaughter made $6 at that market, which, all right, so it wasn't a complete bust. We met new vendors. These people were brand new. They were asking for advice. Where do we go? If there's other places, what would you recommend to set up? Where would you recommend to set up? We just started this business. Cool. So got their number. We'll be communicating with them. They seem like really nice people. They had some cool stuff. I do kind of want to shop at their place. It's kind of 90s theme. But anyways, so my total profit for the weekend. I paid $35 to set up at that church. So I made my booth fee back plus I spent $30. It was $30 to set up at that craft fair at the church. So I profited $15 and I made my booth fee back of $30. And then I made $25 in total profit at the second market. So 35 plus 25. So I made $70 minus 30. I made a $40 profit this weekend. It was the first weekend though, and everything was going on at once. They put everything all at once in one weekend. So hopefully these next markets will be available. Will be better. I did notice though that a lot of people are trying to put on markets now. And so you kind of have to pick the one that everybody's going to go to. But also you got to pick the one that everybody's going to go to, that it's not all food vendors, and cater to them, because then we get pushed to the side and people go to buy the food and not support the small, like, handmade vendors. It's a tough cookie, man. It's a tough world out there, but I'm gonna keep it pushing. I'm gonna try and stay positive. We're going to make this work. So with that being said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or if you're going through the same thing, or if you're going through something a little different but kind of the same, please share that with us. We do not want to feel alone. I feel so alone in this. Sharing is caring. So I'm going to drink my coffee, have my smoothie now. We're going to figure out what we're doing for the next market, and then we're going to get it going. It's all love here at the Happy Hooker's Closet. Remember that. And I hope you have a great day or night or whatever time you're watching this. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.